In this video, we traveled to 3 different states to see 3 national historic sites all in one day. We flew from Houston to Denver for a mini road trip to meet my family at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota.
We had a planned stopover in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, but along the way, we added an unplanned visit to Fort Laramie in Wyoming. Watch until the end to see the surprise ending to our day. Today we're stopped here at the Scottsbluff National Monument. It's in the northwest corner of Nebraska. We're excited to get down to the visitor center and look at all the history and the people that traveled here along the westward trail, Oregon Trail, to move west when they were settling the United States. We're going to learn more about that history. We're going to see the geological formations that are so different from anything I've seen before, and just explore the trails, and there's a drive up to the summit, and so we're just going to see what we can find here. We began our time in Scottsbluff with a short hike on the Oregon Trail pathway. On this trail, you can see 3 replicas of the covered wagons used by pioneers during the U.S. westward expansion. At scheduled times, the park hosts living history talks. We learned about different items that the settlers would have traveled with on their journey. Our nephews enjoyed trying out the games. Part of this pathway is the original Oregon Trail.
This is the actual Oregon Trail, and you can see there's depressions, or they call them swells, on the sides. They can't see the ruts anymore from the wagon wheels, but the website said that after everything's eroded, you can see these swells on the side of the road. That is where the ruts kind of turned into that over time as the soil eroded. So we're on the Oregon Trail.
Next, we spend some time exploring the visitor center. There's a film you can watch, a small museum area, and a gift shop. We made sure to get our national park passport stamps.
Then it was time to drive to the summit. Did you know that Nebraska only has 3 tunnels in the entire state, and they are all on this road up to the top? You can also hike to the top, but our group was not up for that much hiking. When you arrive at the top, there are several scenic overlooks to enjoy the views of the unique geological formations and prairie lands. Historically, Scottsbluff was an important landmark for the many people who lived and traveled in this part of the country. It is an interesting place to explore and hike while learning about the history of the area. Make sure you watch out for rattlesnakes.
After exploring the monument, we went over to the nearby town to try a well-known sandwich brought over to Nebraska from immigrants called a runza. It's similar to a Philly cheesesteak, but it's got ground beef with cabbage and onions stuffed into a roll. We all really enjoyed it, and we would recommend this place if you're nearby.
We are here at Fort Laramie in Wyoming. It's about an hour's drive west of Scottsbluff, right across the Wyoming border. It's an old fort. Don't know much about it yet. We haven't really checked it out. So we're going to look around and see what we can find out about this old historic fort. What do you think, Blaine? You think you'd fit in that cannon over there so we can fire you out of it?
And then we just had country potatoes, which is just potatoes and salt pork.
We're in the trading post, and we got our birch beers. Cheers. They're good. I've had it going like earlier. Can't change the pitch. I can't do it. Oh, this is so cool. They've got like cozy beds with like all the furs and a banjo. This was the bachelor pad, so they've got all their manly things. I can imagine them sitting around doing.
Did they also double fist drinks while they were doing it?
Probably. I mean, look at that alcohol on that table. I'm sure they did.
This is the jail cell, and over here is the bathroom, except for there's poop all over the floor. So I don't get it. I just don't get that either. So, yeah.
So we just finished touring Fort Laramie. I would say this is a must-do if you're in the area. It is probably the most detailed and well restored, to the scale it's restored, place that I've been to. There's tons of buildings you can walk through that look exactly like they looked in the 1800s when they were occupied. There's stories, they have names, they've got all the dates. It's really, really well done from a restoration perspective, but there's also a lot to see on site. There's demonstrations. There was a cannon demonstration earlier that we missed, looks like. There's reenactment, people out here, like historical reenactment stuff you can do. There's a bar where you can go get your old-timey sarsaparillas and birch beers and stuff like that. There's a full museum. There's a movie you can watch. So you could definitely make a good half day out of your trip to Fort Laramie here in Wyoming. Did you have fun, Blaine? Yeah.
We made it to our third state and our third landmark. We are here at Mount Rushmore. Unfortunately, it's foggy, so I don't know how much we're gonna get to see, but we came for the nighttime show. So we're hoping that we're gonna be able to see something, even with the fog. But if not, we're gonna have fun anyway, and we're gonna plan to come back another day when it's daytime and sunny. So, but we did it. We made 3 states, 3 national landmarks.
Texas.
This is Mount Rushmore.
Welcome to Mount Rushmore. Isn't it beautiful?
You can see all the faces here. It's not as detailed as I thought it would be. I expected more detail. Did you expect more detail in the faces?
I expected a little better quality work, for sure.
It's eroded a lot over the last 100 years. Well, our first outing to Mount Rushmore wasn't exactly what we expected it to be, but we still managed to visit 3 historic sites in 3 different states in one day, while traveling through 5 different states to get there. But we're not done with South Dakota yet. Be sure to tune into our next video when we make our triumphant return to Mount Rushmore, along with a lot of the other sites and attractions and parks that South Dakota has to offer.